Hello YouTube, it's MPD News. I just wanted to just get into this little brief, quick video about friendship and narcissism. So here are a couple things, some red flags that you really have to pay attention for. Number one, I think when a friend is not okay with you setting a boundary, that is a major red flag. And here's why I say so. When I was in a friendship with this narcissist, when I would take a shower and leave the shower to go to the room to change in the shower or change in the room from the shower, she would barge into the room and then maybe shut the door behind her so that nobody else can see me. But the fact that she was in there and saw that I was undressed and decided to stay in there, even after I showed very obvious body language that I wasn't comfortable with her being in the room while I was naked, she never decided to leave. And it's like either she didn't read it, she ignored it, or she completely didn't respect the fact that I wanted privacy when I was getting dressed. And I think that is a huge red flag, because if they are willing to do something like that, how far will they go to cross any other boundaries, if that even includes your body? And your body, I feel like, is a very sacred place. It's something that not everybody should be able to see or just get to see just because they feel entitled to see it, just because. I don't think anybody has that right. And another red flag that I would say that I would add to that situation would be double standards. If you have a friend who maybe you do something or they do something and they expect you to be okay with it, but if you do it to them, they go crazy, or they don't want to talk to you, or they go around, talking bad about something that you've done to them when it would have been okay if they did it, that's also a huge red flag. And like I was saying, to kind of join those together to my story, if that is something that I did to the narcissist, something that I did to her daughter, something I did to her son or whatever, it would be the most disrespectful thing in her eyes to have ever done. But it's okay if, she does it. And that whole double standards thing, I think that just goes into that whole sense of entitlement, in my personal opinion. So she felt entitled to seeing and doing a certain thing that, if I was to do it, it would be bad and I would be wrong. So that's another one. That's two. A third one that I can think of would be that if your friend talks about other people that are close to you guys, or even, sometimes even their own family or yours, if they talk bad about them to you, that is a major red flag. Because if they're talking about their own sister, who they are, related to, and I mean, so you gotta take this on a case-by-case basis, but usually when you have family and you have family issues, you don't go around telling the whole world how bad your mother or your father or your sister is. And so she would do that. And if you think that they're not going to say anything about you, then you can be dead wrong. Because if I'm able to call my mom a bitch, or if I'm able to call my dad a bastard, it's like, do you think that I wouldn't be quick to call you one? So, and it doesn't even have to be family, but to me, this is just my opinion. I think that when people are really close with you, that you live with, that you spend most of your time with, if you're talking about them to the whole world, then I think that is a huge red flag, and that is something that narcissists, they definitely do. And it is something that she did. She would talk about her sister and how bad she was. She would talk about the neighbor. She would talk about even my boyfriend every once in a while. She would talk about him. She would talk about his ex. She would talk about her coworkers, and it's like, so when I walk away, all our conversations that we have, all the secrets that I've ever told her, that's being kept silent, in her mouth. That's being kept just, silently in her brain. It's just a secret that never comes out. No way. That is coming out, to whoever she feels she can talk to or that will listen. Yeah, that's 3. And then 4, I think another thing to pay attention to is when they're very hypercritical or very judgmental. And I say this because she was very judgmental of everybody and their actions. If somebody did something wrong, maybe, she was not quick to forgive, and she would judge that whole entire being based on something small that they had done, as if she made 0 mistakes. So she made plenty of mistakes, and I think that is just like I believe it's just deflection. It's trying to keep the attention off of her. It's trying to keep the attention away from the narcissist. So they go around saying, look at what that person did, look at what this person's wearing, look at what they're doing for their career, look at what this person said, look at this person's ideas, they're dumb, they're bad, they're wrong. And they're just very, very judgmental. Everybody has an issue and everybody's wrong, and it seems like they never fail to talk about everybody else and their wrongdoings. They never fail to do that, but they're so quick to talk about not only how good they are, but to justify everything that they have done that is wrong. And I think that's a huge red flag, because once you do something that they may not agree with, number one, you could, for sure, we can go back to the other red flags and be sure that not only are they going to talk about all the things that you have done that were wrong, but they're going to judge you as an entire person for a mistake that you made. They're going to go ahead and tell people that you're bad, and even have this idea that you're bad and treat you as such. And not only that, but that it's another red flag is not being forgiving. And there is a time where maybe not necessarily that you have to forgive somebody, but at least be able to let it go. Some people can do things that are so bad that are just unforgivable, but at least you're able to let it go. But narcissists, on the other hand, they can't let things go. They usually hold a grudge, and they go around hurting you for a very long period of time. But that's all I have for now, and I will send another video. So you can email me at healypsych615@gmail.com, HEALYPSYCH615@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and PD News.